A brief update from Batshit Bonkers, Britain, where the leftists are wetting themselves today over BBC headlines like this. Colorado Supreme Court kicks Trump off ballot citing insurrection. Take no notice whatsoever of these kind of grasping clickbait headlines. The Colorado Supreme Court is packed by Democrats. They were just having a moment of willy waving. It's the equivalent of a kind of Instagram influencer wanting to show off their new lips or new Botox or whatever. They're just having a moment. It gets them a headline. It makes them feel like glorious Democrats. What actually happens is that Trump's name stays on the ballot pending appeal. The appeal will go to the US Supreme Court, and the US Supreme Court will overturn this blatantly ridiculous decision. It quotes Amendment 14, Section 2. If you refer to the Constitution, Amendment 14, Section 2, you will see very clearly that even if you wanted to use that amendment, it doesn't refer to presidents, and you will also know that the insurrection was staged. So frankly, it's all a load of old baloney. But Vivek Ramaswamy, one of the Republican candidates, has done himself no end of tactical favours by coming out and saying, if you take Trump's name off, take my name off as well. Another great lesson in how we are always stronger together. Take the NHS 100,000, for example. In other news, it was BBC Sports Personality of the Year. It's kind of been a joke, that award, for the longest time since they gave it to Andy Murray, because none of us have ever been able to find any semblance of anything like a personality with Andy Murray. It was basically a kind of lesbian fest, and you know I love me a lesbian, but it was basically a smorgasbord, a beaver buffet. Alex Scott was there with her girlfriend and her tits out as per normal. Claire Balding was there being sturdy and reliable with a strong fringe. I mean, all the things we love. Gary Lineker was there like a bucket of sick in the corner that nobody wanted to look at. And Mary Eaps, the amazing goalkeeper who looks fantastic in her kit, so strong, so powerful, turned up wearing just her underwear and then a weird skirt thing after the underwear, all a bit confusing. And then in other news, another Conservative forces a by-election, a guy called Peter Bone, who made the unfortunate step of getting his actual boner out and kind of, I don't know, flashing it at a few people or something, allegedly, just the sort of thing you expect from politicians these days. Anyway, there'll be a by-election. So whilst Rishi, the Roland Rat Sunak, hasn't called a general election, this is kind of like a general election by 1,000 paper cuts. You know, you just keep slicing away until finally you hit an artery. I think in general, most sane people in the country realise that no one trusts a single politician. There's not really any reason to vote, that no one's governing by consent anymore. So we may as well do our own thing, live off grid or in parallel societies and spend cash. But anyway, that's the latest here in Batshit Bonkers Britain.